Last night, the Late Show with Stephen Colbert turned into an absolute war zone. What was supposed to be a tense but civil interview quickly spiraled into a full-on political brawl that left the audience stunned, the internet ignited, and late-night television reeling. Senator JD Vance, Ohio's firebrand conservative and staunch Trump loyalist, strode onto the set with confidence. Promoting his populist rise from the Rust Belt to the U.S. Senate, Vance looked ready to spar, but clearly underestimated the fight ahead. Colbert wasted no time. "So, JD," he began with a smirk, "are you here to sell Appalachia, or just Trump's latest grift?" The jab cut sharp. Laced with sarcasm, it drew a mixture of laughter and gasps. Vance didn't flinch. "I'm here for truth, Stephen," he said, calm but pointed. "Not your cheap shots." The tension skyrocketed. Colbert queued up a clip of Vance praising Trump at a recent rally, railing against coastal elites and celebrating what he called real American values. "That's quite the sermon," Colbert said, raising an eyebrow. "Is that grit, or just a guy cashing in on red state outrage?" Vance's smile faded. His reply came fast, eyes narrowed. "It's grit you'll never understand, Stephen. I lived it. You mock it from your cushy chair." The crowd split, half cheering, half jeering. Backstage, producers exchanged nervous glances. The segment was slipping off script, but it was about to get personal. Vance leaned in. "You don't know my people, Stephen. You're a coastal snob with a mic." Colbert didn't blink. "Snob? I'm not the one cozying up to billionaires while pretending to be a man of the people, JD." The room shifted. Vance's jaw tightened. The audience stirred, some gasping, others murmuring as the energy turned volatile. Colbert smelled blood. "Your hillbilly roots must feel very far away now," he said, rolling another clip. This time of Vance grinning beside mega donors at a Trump fundraiser. The response from Vance came sharp. "That's called loyalty, something you clearly don't understand. You flip-flop for laughs." Cheers and boos erupted. The divide in the room was loud, the air thick with tension. Colbert leaned forward. "Loyalty or leash? You went from rags to riches, and now you're Trump's lapdog." The insult landed. Personal. Brutal. Vance's voice rose. "Lapdog? I'm fighting for people you ignore. You're the pet here, Stephen. Corporate cash keeps you barking." It was no longer an interview. It was war. The crowd exploded. Some stood and shouted. Others booed. Phones came out. The internet lit up with real-time posts. Vance is melting down on Colbert. "This is insane. Late night will never be the same." One insider said you could hear the director yelling into headsets, trying to regain control. But it was too late. Vance's fists clenched on the armrests. "I'm not your punching bag, Stephen," he growled. "I'll take you down." Colbert didn't miss a beat. "Take me down? You're shaking, JD. Your Trump armor is cracking." The jab landed like a punch. The crowd roared. Producers signaled for a break, but Vance wasn't done. "You don't cut me off," he shouted, standing. "You invited me here, now face the truth." The studio was pure chaos. Some audience members surged forward. Others pulled out their phones to film what was quickly becoming a late-night legend. Backstage sources say producers were shouting into comms, trying to kill the feed. But the confrontation had already gone. Nuclear. "You mock my story," Vance said, finger pointed. "I clawed out of nothing. You inherited this desk." Colbert smiled coolly. "You clawed into power, JD. And you sold out the roots you love to brag about." The crowd was in pandemonium. Some chanted, "JD, JD." Others laughed, shouted, or shook their heads in disbelief. X was already ablaze with hot takes, memes, and hashtags. Crossroom Colbert vows Vance. Late night smackdown, or Trump TV fails. As security moved in to calm the crowd and escort Vance out, one final exchange sealed the moment. "I'll be back," Vance hissed. "Bring facts next time," Colbert snapped. And just like that, the segment was over, but the fallout had only begun. The audience had become a mob. The interview, a wildfire. And no one, on set or off, could stop what was coming. Sources say, Senator JD Vance's vow to take Colbert down, after the host mocked his Trump ties, lit the fuse. What followed was no longer an interview. It was a full-blown meltdown that's now the talk of the nation. Colbert didn't flinch. With his trademark smirk, he leaned into the fury in Vance's eyes. "Cracking, JD? That hillbilly act's fading." "Fast. Just another Senate sellout now." Then came the dagger. A mocking graphic flashed behind them. Vance smiling next to Trump, dollar signs swirling. The audience howled. Some laughed, others booed. But Vance? He was boiling. "Sellout?" he growled, voice trembling. "I'm real, Stephen. You're a fake, peddling lies for claps." The audience split into factions. Cheers clashed with jeers as the studio descended into open chaos. Producers frantically signaled from the wings, hands waving, but the live feed held. The madness was broadcasting to millions. Colbert struck again. "Real? You're Trump's puppet, JD, dancing for his cash and his crowd." The insult was sharp, calculated, personal. Vance shot to his feet. "Puppet? I'm my own man. You're the puppet. Corporate strings jerking you around like a circus clown." He slammed his fist onto the desk. The sound echoed. The crowd exploded. Some chanted, "JD fights." Others screamed, "Sit down." Phones were everywhere. X, formerly Twitter, posts surged with clips titled "Vance Snaps" and "Colbert, Chaos." Colbert's grin widened. "Your own man? You're shaking, JD. Trump's got you wound tight." He pointed at Vance's trembling hands. The camera didn't miss a second, but what pushed the moment into total meltdown wasn't just the insults. It was Vance's break. Insiders say he towered over the desk, eyes wild. "You don't know me, Stephen. I've bled for my people." He leaned in, voice cracking. "You've bled for ratings." Colbert didn't blink. "Bled?" he snapped. "You're bleeding now, JD, cracking live. Look at you." The audience roared. Some surged toward the stage edge, others yelled, "Finish him!" And that's when Vance lost control. "I'll finish you, you smug hack," he shouted. It wasn't just anger. It was fury, raw and unhinged. Cups flew from the crowd. Phones kept filming. Live streams spread like wildfire. The energy in the room was no longer theatrical. It was combustible. Producers signaled security, their voices urgent in headsets. "He's losing it." But Vance kept going. "You're nothing, Stephen. I'll tear this whole place down." His voice boomed, shaking with rage. Colbert stood, calm, cold. "Tear it down? You're falling apart, JD. Get out." The command hit like a hammer. The crowd exploded, some chanting, "Kick him." Others yelling, "Let him speak." Then came the moment. Vance tore off his mic, hurling it at the desk. It hit with a sharp metallic crack. "I'm not your toy. You're done." Security lunged. Vance thrashed. "Let me go. I'll walk." The fury on his face was unfiltered, raw. As he was hauled toward the wings, the camera stayed locked in. The internet? Already in flames. Vance meltdown. Colbert confrontation. Late-night brawl clips looped on X, TikTok, YouTube. Memes erupted. Headlines followed. And the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, it had turned into an absolute battleground. JD Vance, Ohio's Trump-backed firebrand, was forcibly removed from the Late Show set last night, after a volcanic clash with host Stephen Colbert spiraled into a screaming, out-of-control frenzy. What started as a political grilling turned into a televised breakdown. Vance, red-faced and raging, vowed to tear Colbert down, but it was Colbert who delivered the final blow. An icy command that triggered a chaotic ejection, now rewriting late-night history. Vance's mic smashed against the desk. "Let me go. I'll walk," he roared, thrashing as security grabbed his arms. His voice was hoarse, trembling with fury. Across from him, Colbert stood tall, unmoved. "You're done, JD. Hit the road," the host said coldly, the crowd erupting around them. Some shouted, "Out! Out!" Others screamed, "Let him speak," as Vance twisted in protest. "You're a coward, Stephen, hiding behind them." He spat, his words wild, unraveling. Security dragged him toward the wings. His shoes scraped the floor. The feed stayed live. The crowd unhinged. Phones flew into the air. Fans leapt up, filming, shouting. Some chanted, "Trump's boy falls." Others cried, "Stand strong, JD." The room pulsed with noise. Producers stood frozen, headsets silent. "He's gone," one muttered just as Vance vanished behind the curtain. Colbert turned to the cameras, flashing a grin. "There goes the hillbilly, folks. Show's over." Laughter roared. Debris flew. TikTok lit up. X exploded. The moment had detonated. But what made this seismic wasn't just the walk-off, it was the collapse. Sources say Vance's rage gave way to desperation. "I'll be back. You'll pay for this," he shouted backstage, his voice cracking, face drenched. In sweat, Colbert, still calm, delivered the final jab. "Pay? You paid tonight, JD, in full." The crowd was split, half cheering, half booing, as security cleared the stage. Clips looped online within minutes. Hashtags ignited. Vance meltdown, your Colbert him, your late show massacre. One viral post read simply, "Kicked off." Another showed the mic toss in slow motion, captioned, "Owned, live." Behind the scenes, producers were divided. Some celebrated a ratings bonanza. Others feared the fallout. It was raw, unspinnable. By morning, Vance's team had gone dark. Rumors swirled. He was fuming backstage, shouting, "They'll regret this." But the damage was done. His tough guy image, cracked. His political armor, dented. And Colbert basked in the wreckage. "That's how you handle a senator," he quipped, still basking in the glow of a live TV knockout. Analysts agreed. Colbert played him cold. The internet declared the winner. Late-night TV had morphed into a battleground. The story flipped. Instantly, Vance crushed. Colbert unstoppable, and the fallout isn't fading. It's roaring. By sunrise, X was ablaze. Vance's late-night tweet, "Truth doesn't bend, I'll rise," pulled 150,000 likes but was drowned by brutal replies. "You fell, JD. Hillbilly heartbreak." Memes swarmed TikTok. Clips hit 10 million views. One trending video looped his clenched fists with dramatic music and captions that read, "This isn't a fighter, it's a flop." Supporters rushed to defend him. He stood his ground. He fought for us. But the internet had already made its call. The senator got smoked. Colbert, crowned, and late night, changed for good. "They cheated," one furious post screamed. But the internet tide was already crashing in the opposite direction. The image of JD Vance as the unshakable warrior shattered. Colbert's team saw blood in the water, and they claimed total victory. Insiders say the Late Show opened the next night with Colbert smirking at the camera. "We had a senator. He brought heat. I brought the boot. Smug. Victorious. Untouchable." The audience roared. Ratings exploded. Up 55% overnight. Viewers were glued, craving more of the chaos. Colbert's team? Buzzing, already plotting their next bold move. "Vance thought he'd roll me," Colbert reportedly told staff. "I rolled him." Analysts declared it a late-night knockout. Media insiders called it career-defining. But others whispered warnings. Colbert's win came at a cost. He's a target now, and the spotlight burns. Still, the internet couldn't look away. Colbert rules. That phrase trended for hours. His crown, tighter than ever. Meanwhile, Vance's base was reeling. "They ambushed him. He's gold," read one viral post, racking up thousands of shares, but critics went in hard. Trump's lapdog down. Another puppet silenced. Clips of Vance's on-air implosion were dissected like game tape. "He snapped," one pundit said. "Colbert baited him, perfectly," said another. The fallout? Massive chatter inside Trump's circle surged. Sources say the MAGA machine was rattled. Vance's rise shaken. And now, he's holed up silent, plotting. The word, counterstrike, a rival show, a vengeance play. Maybe both. But right now, his silence is deafening. His loss, still stinging. And the ripple effect, seismic. Late night. TV just shifted. Some say Colbert rewrote the rules. Others say he shattered them. Now networks are scrambling. Should they chase this fire? Or rein it in before it backfires? One exec put it bluntly, if we misstep, we vanish. If we don't risk it, we fade. Viewers remain divided. Half cheer. He smashed a sitting senator. Half cringe. Too far. Too personal. But one. Things clear. That night on The Late Show became a line in the sand. Vance's fall. Colbert's rise. Carved into viral stone. And it's not over. This wasn't just a moment. It was a spark. Vance is regrouping. Colbert is loading his next shot. And the next move, set to blaze. So if you're hooked on this madness, smash that subscribe button now. Because the next round is coming fast.